deferred action for undocumented youth. So I was able to get, the 9 numbers I've always wanted in my whole life, which was my social security. So I was finally able to, go out there, get a job, pursue my dreams. I've been going to the university ever since, I got out of high school, because I always felt like I can't stop dreaming and I have to keep working hard, because someday, if I worked hard enough, out there in my community, fighting for immigration reform, someday I can, not just, pursue my dreams, but also stop my parents' order of deportation. My parents were scammed by a so-called lawyer, and not to give lawyers a bad rap or anything, but there's just some that are not honest.
That's all right.
Yeah, I was in that order of deportation. So honestly, ICE could have just knocked on my door, and just taken not just my parents, but they could have taken me as well. And honestly, immigration is not just an issue of, it's not just a political issue. This is about, people. We're talking about human beings here. So often, we hear in the media, oh, immigrants are taking this, they're, destroying our lives, they're going to destroy our culture, whatnot. And then we have the other side where, people have been here, they have been paying taxes, they've been out of trouble, and that's basically my parents, who actually started their own business. And I mean,
Rafael, do your parents, they pay taxes? Do they have any chance of getting their Social Security back at the current moment?
At the moment, from what I hear nothing about Social Security.
No, they don't get Social Security back.
No.
No, they pay that money in. They pay taxes. They've been here making jobs, but they haven't gotten anything except the right to be deported.
That's right.
Exactly. It just goes to a file where it's just like, well, we don't know what this money came from, but it's there. We're keeping it.
Rafael, do you speak Spanish?
Yeah.
Well, that would be one person that does speak Spanish who's a dreamer. What about someone who was a dreamer who was just dropped off in Tijuana, and because they're deported, what would they do? A lot of them don't speak Spanish. Astrid doesn't speak Spanish well.
Well, I also can I can relate to that, because even though Spanish is my first language, it's not like I can honestly write it. I can honestly write an essay. It's not like I can just go to Mexico and then I could just sign up for the university. That wouldn't happen, because I would honestly have to start from scratch and honestly learn how to speak the language properly. It would just completely hold myself back. And even though I do have family, I don't really even know them. So it's just like, hey, I'm your relative,
How well do you think you'd be treated by people who have been deported as being an American, basically? Would you be their favorite person?
I don't think I'd be their favorite person either, because people are always gonna look at you as other. So I can imagine struggling, not just that, but the lingo. I mean, even though I can communicate in Spanish, the lingo is always different. You're not always gonna be there. You're just.
What are you majoring in?
I can't imagine.
What are you majoring in college?
Right now, I'm actually majoring in psychology, and but I actually want to go to law school, because my dream is to become an immigration lawyer.
There you go.
So.
There you go. You have to speak louder, because that engine is keeping on roaring.